Hello everyone, so I will be doing my February wrap-up. For the month of February, I only read like one book and then I'll discuss the other book I kind of read. So let's get started. The book I read was Escaping from Houdini. If you watched my reading vlog, you will already know my feelings on this book. But this is a book by Kerri Maniscalco, and this is the third book in the series. And it once again follows Audrey Rose and Thomas Cresswell, and this time they're on like this luxury cruise with her uncle, and during one of the performances by this circus act, a passenger dies. And during more performances, more passengers end up killed, and once again they are in the middle of a murder investigation. I gave this a 3-star rating, which I think is very generous. It is basically the only book I read in February because it just took me forever to finish this. I just couldn't get into it. This was one of my most anticipated reads and it just disappointed me so much. I was just upset throughout the whole thing. So this will have spoilers, but not major spoilers, because it doesn't deal with any of the murder investigation, which I think is the main part of this book, which should be the main part of this book, so I won't talk about that. But the part I will be talking about is the romance, so if that matters to you, then don't watch this video. The thing about most YA romances is that it's either insta-love, or has a love triangle, or some other kind of toxic dynamic, which I'm not a big fan of those kinds of romances. And that is why I don't really enjoy a lot of YA books, because the romance kind of ruins it for me. In the first 2 books in the series, the romance wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it. In the first book, we are introduced to Audrey Rose, and in the time period, women aren't really expected to do anything. They're expected to get married and host teas and functions and stuff like that. But she doesn't want to do that. She is secretly studying with her uncle in forensic medicine, and I thought that was so cool because she's going against the norms. And this is where she meets Thomas, who is also studying with her uncle. And they had this kind of flirtatious banter back and forth, which I really enjoyed. And the thing is, he encouraged her behavior. He encouraged her to pursue this, and never once really doubted her ability. And I thought that was really refreshing. In the second book, their romance was a little bit more serious, but still very great. They ended up going to a competitive forensic medicine school, and at the end of it, only 2 are allowed to stay in this school. And right away, Audrey is faced with more sexism. The professor just thought that Audrey was Thomas's wife and just kind of belittled everything she said. But still, Audrey fought through it and didn't take any of the sexist crap. And what I really liked about it is that she even said that nothing is going to get in her way of pursuing her dreams, not even Thomas. And I was like, this is so great. This is a romance that I can get behind, because this is a good message it's showing to girls. That your career is important and you shouldn't let a guy get in the way, and this is healthy, and he should be encouraging you. And so I really enjoyed this. It had the murder mystery part, and then the romance wasn't bad, so that is why I really liked this series. But now comes the third book. Right away, it opens with Audrey saying about she can't wait for a wedding, and that she's enjoying finding secret ways to kiss Thomas and have little rendezvous. And right away I was so confused because I thought this was a different character. This did not sound like Audrey at all, which I was a little sad about because it was just very corny and very cringy. But I was like, okay, whatever, I can, get past all that. Because right away someone is killed and it jumps right into like them solving it. So I was like, okay, whatever, I can get past that part. In the circus, there's this ringleader kind of person, and she makes a deal with him. And this deal consists of her not being able to tell anyone about this deal, not even Thomas. So it kind of looks like they are together. So at first it wasn't a real love triangle, but it had all the elements of a love triangle, all the drama, and Thomas being sad and all that. And then it actually turns into real feelings, and then it gets even more dramatic, and you can't escape it because Thomas and Audrey are working together to solve this murder mystery, so it's always an issue, always dramatic, and I just hated it because I am not into romance drama. And it just got me so upset because I really enjoyed this series because it didn't have all this romance drama, and I could just enjoy the murder mystery and have this little cute romance in the background. But this one was just full of just romance and drama, and I hated it. I'm really hoping her fourth book in the series isn't like this, because then I'll just have to stop reading it altogether. It hasn't deterred me from reading the fourth book, but it really sucked, and that's why I could only read one book in the month of February, because I just didn't want to pick it up. And then the second book I kind of read was Monsters You Should Know by Emma San Cartier. So the reason I say I kind of read it, because this isn't really a book. It's a very cute and unique book. It has little monsters in it, and then it has their name and then description of it. And so I think it has probably 100 words max. But it is really good. So if you kind of like the fictional monsters and all that, then you should check this out. But it isn't a very long book. It's more like a coffee table book, but it had words, and it was on Goodreads, so I counted it. So at least I can say that I read at least 2 books in February, even though technically it's still probably just 1. If you read any of those 2, let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!